All right, welcome back. So I'm going to talk about the project planning process in construction technology in our course. And the first thing you should know is that most projects built in these courses follow a similar process, depending on the project. And these are the stages that most of these stages that you see in front of you here. These are the stages that your project will go through. So you'll start off with a concept sketch. Specifications you can do next, but you can do the specifications at any point. Working drawing, which is this is a better version of a concept sketch. A cutting list, which shows you the name of the parts and how big they are, all the parts in your project, and finally a project reflection. So I'm going to do a video on each one of these, and we'll start off with, obviously, we're going to start off with the concept sketch because it's the first one. So a concept sketch, this is just this is a rough drawing of what you intend to build. So if you take these project planners that I have, for example, I have a project planner that's geared toward building something like a table or bench, and one toward a wall cabinet. These two project planners, they have these 5 steps in them. They have the five project planning steps in them, and they all start off with a concept sketch. So let's just have a quick look at one of them. The wall cabinet, for example, if you flip it open, or no, let's use the table bench planner. The table bench planner, if you flip it open, immediately you're going to see a drawing of a table, and this is a sample. Okay, so this is just one sample of one style of table. The style that you choose, the style of your table, well, you can pretty well come up with whatever you want, depending on the size. You sort of bounce ideas off me, and but this is just one sample of a very simple, straightforward table. But it looks good. I've had lots of students build this style of table before. And a concept sketch, it has to have, if you read at the top here, the concept sketch should. It has to have 3 views, so we have to be able to look at your project idea. You look at your concept sketch from the top. This is the top view here, looking down on the table. A front view, looking at the front. And then over here, a side view. And I want the drawings done in this order, okay? So up here you have a top view with the dimensions, 12 inches by 36. And then you immediately come down here, and there's a front view that shows the height of the table, 18 inches. And shows some more detail. Like here's a rail piece, 4 inches, and then a thickness of 3/4 on the top. And then moving over here, an end view, okay, of 12 inches. Now you notice that this is hand drawn. This was not drawn with a ruler. You can use a ruler, or you don't have to. If you're not the world's best artist, I would suggest using a ruler. But if you can freehand it and make it look good, then absolutely, go ahead and do that. But include enough dimensions so that you and I can sit down and we can talk about building this thing, okay? Because from this drawing, just looking at this drawing, we can start to build it. I would ask you a few more questions, okay? But this is very close to being able to start being built. It has most of the dimensions. It doesn't have every single dimension. So, for example, it doesn't show how thick these legs are. It doesn't show how big an overhang there is here, okay? But that's okay. Those are the questions. That's the kind of stuff we can work out, you and I. Because by the time you're done this, by the time you work through this process, you will go from a concept sketch, which is a rough drawing, over to a nice finished drawing. So here's a nice finished drawing of a table. And you can see the difference between the concept sketch versus this, which is a working drawing. So this working drawing has a lot of the dimensions filled in, has a lot of the detail there. It even has a scale, okay? And I'll talk more about scale when I show you how to do a working drawing. But let's go back to the concept sketch. The concept sketch, you can do it on this page. Okay, so this is a sample page, but over here, this is where you would do it. If you want to do it in here, you're welcome to do it in here. You can also do it on graph paper, and you can use the grid lines on the graph paper to represent a scale. For example, one of these squares can represent 1 inch by 1 inch, and then you can make a bit of a scaled sketch. You can also, if you want to use larger paper, because some students like to kind of doodle, then that's fine. If you want to do a 3D view type of a drawing, then that's fine as well. Let me grab this. I've got a whole file full of project planners that I've kept from over the years. Okay, students who have used a variety of means to produce drawings. So, you know, some students take it on themselves to learn how to use Google SketchUp, a computer-based program, which I can help you with. And then I've also got some students who, I mean, look at this student. Here's a very artistic student, very artistic and ambitious. So here's a student who, he just sat there and drew ideas. I mean, look at this. It's fantastic ideas. And I would count this as a concept sketch if it has enough detail. Okay, because I mean, he really poured his heart into this, and you can see dimensions, and this is a great starting point for a conversation about what he wanted to build and how big. But don't worry about getting too complicated. Okay, not everybody, I mean, I couldn't sit down there and draw as well as this person, and I don't expect you to. So let's just go back to the basics. And the basics are that you need to produce something that looks like this in whatever style you choose, or for whatever project you're building. This doesn't have to apply to a table. This could be anything. This could be a house. This could be you know, a larger piece of furniture. Anyway, that's what you have to do, and include some dimensions, and then we can talk about more details. Okay, that's concept sketch. Next video, I'll be doing the specifications. Thanks very much.